Where you checking in from? What's the weather like? How's your day? Anything good? Anything bad? What's up? Actually, I'd love to know. Hello there. I can read the comments, but I can't read. Amber first in command. You need a one-on-one. Chris, hit that website. Oakland. Nice. Hit that website up. Chris, you know the drill. Just go to the website, danieltyack.com. It's just a contact form. Like, it's nothing. It's nothingness. There's nothing on the website. It's just, I've been too busy making videos and doing one-on-ones and skating and stuff. But just say, like, hey, it's Chris. Or use all your fingers like a professional. Be like, this is what's up in my life. And then the lovely Sarah will contact you and say, hello, Chris, I love you. And you'll be like, oh my gosh. Your little heart will explode, just like mine does every time. Oh, every time. And then she'll schedule a call with me. Oh, I love you too. Spook. Thank you guys. You're so sweet. We're gonna talk about healing ourselves tonight. What did I call this live? Oh, heal yo shit. That's right. What's up, South Dakota? Welcome. Stink Nuggets. I don't know what that's all about, but I mean, there's a lot of things that could be perceived of as stink nuggets in this world, this wide world of stink nuggets. That tea's too hot to drink yet. It's not for human consumption. Let's just give it a second. It was just ready, Yeah, you guys ready to heal your shit? Who's got some bullshit that going on in their life, huh? Because I have found that so much of our bullshit, so many of the labels that we put on stuff, the different mental illnesses and things like that. And working with clients, it's like, man, we're gonna heal those stink nuggets. It's like sometimes the label itself keeps you locked in the thing. You're like, oh, I have this. And you're like, ugh, I'll never recover. But, kids, Ghee butter, you sniffed a crystal in your dream because of me. I feel like I can just, cancel the TikTok, delete account. I'm good. My life is complete. I do get that Weekend at Bernie's thing. I think it's maybe because of the mustache. Seriously, how old is that movie, guys? It's from the 80s. I haven't seen that movie in 100 years. I also get the woke Pauly Shore. I think that's pretty funny. That's a good one. What's up, New Mexico? Come on down, guys. Anyway, we're talking about healing your shit. Does anybody want to heal your shit? What do you guys got going on in your life? I mean, what are the chronic things in life? Depression, anxiety. Anxiety seems to be the popular kid on the block, right? Who's got what? Bipolar, all the things. I work with so many different clients. All the things. Is this Sharon Deputy? Ex-wife? We gotta heal the ex-wife wound. Laziness, yeah, that can be a thing. I've definitely had my fair share of gotten hurt up in the laziness. Super anxious, you got swag, my dude. Earth Academy, thank you for that. Appreciate that. I get super anxious in school, between classes. All right, let's talk about that. That's good. I like that. We're gonna heal your shit right now. What is that like? Oh yeah, complex PTSD. That one's a bitch. Left the dentist today during my appointment because I had anxiety. Okay, let's talk about anxiety here. Anxiety always comes from future thinking, right? What is going to happen? Going in between classes, you have this break, what's going to happen in this next class? What's going to happen at the dentist? It really hits you. It fucking hits you. You know what I mean? You feel it in your chest. You're like, what is with the stink nuggets, you guys? But I'm into it. Whatever they are, I'm here for it. Anxiety is always something in the future, right? Outside of the moment. just right here in this moment. Did anybody see the video today about the moment and how that works? Creating it on that subatomic particle level, which creates the electron field of the atom, and then it goes out from there. Neither here nor there. But anxiety always comes from future thinking. It always comes from what will happen, right? So think of it that way. Think of depression as living in the past. I can't get past this thing. And anxiety as what will happen in the future. Both of which are outside of your moment, who you are right here. Both of which are effectively a chemical condition in your body, where your body is triggering different hormones from your endocrine system to give you the feelings of it, where it triggers right in that energy center. And it's always a subconscious thing. It is always a thing of a subconscious story, whatever it is. Fear of the dentist, fear of what's going to happen in class next. You know what I mean? What's going to go down. So there's a couple things you can do for anxiety. You can absolutely reprogram it, and you can come into your moment with a little bit of mindset work and a little bit of feeling set work. I want to coin the term feel set. Everybody's all about the mindset, but it's like, let's think about this, guys. The mind is just like less than 10% of your experience, of your entire energetic experience that is you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just your ego. When you look at all your brain waves and all the energetic experience of you, you got like these 10 different ranges, and I'm sure it's a whole lot more. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, theta. Thank you. My lovely Sarah got this for me. You got this. Even though Sarah got this, she's got this. And it's got pretty flowers on it and a gold handle. She knows what I like. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. So what happens is we get into some kind of future thinking. Now, it can be triggered from past stuff, like social anxiety. Yeah, we do got this shit. And we're going to heal our shit today. It's going to be great. It can be 100% from like past experience, which is triggering a future fear, right? Now, something like the dentist, that's like easy day anxiety. Like, if there's a fear of things that run in the family, it can be passed down genetically. It can be in your DNA, in your blood, the way it is. It can be in that like core programming of what you are. And that is the energy of you. I mean, you're made up of a bunch of little electrons, right? Or electrons spinning around little protons and neutrons that form together for a molecule, and then it becomes this little elements in a cell, and it kind of builds out from there, right? But at the baseline, you're nothing but this energetic experience. And the way energy works, like the way a signal travels through a wire, is an electron jump from atom to atom, and it goes boop, 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 boop. It's like this magnetic attraction, you know? It's like electricity. Like, you can shock yourself in water. You can touch one end of the cable or make a contact between two poles, and then you can get shocked, things like that. And it's the same thing in your body. We just have these energetic channels like instilled in us, like our hard coding. Or it's like DNA would be like your firmware, right? Your body's like your hardware, and then your brain and all your thought processes are like your software. And funny enough, interestingly enough, the computer chip was designed, it literally works just like the brain and the body does, because the brain is the thing that designed the computer chip. It's kind of like form function thing. Life imitates art, you know, kind of that stuff. Anyway, you swear to the founding fathers and the Bill of Rights. I'm just a la regard of justice. All right, congratulations on that. What's up, Becky Joy? The Rose Machine herself is here. Oh, and the finger heart. Thank you. So anyway, we got all these energetic channels, the things that are us, the things that make us up. And what are emotions? What are feelings like anxiety? But energy is traveling through us. What is the endocrine system triggering different hormones in our bodies? Right, the endocrine system triggers the hormones, and the hormones will make us feel the way we feel. It's all this different neural reception. And what is neural reception but a creation of the way that energy flows through? It's like, think of the way your brain works normally, right? And then think of smoking some weed, and then you're just like, whoa, everything's a little different. Everything's a little bit different here. That's like an extreme example, because that THC molecule jumps in there in that cannabinoid system, and it replaces the molecule. It is only one little particle off in the little structure of it, so it fits perfectly in that neural receptor, and then all of a sudden the wiring is screwy. It was going one way, and then all of a sudden it's going another way. Why do you authorize war? Okay. Awesome. Anyway, state of the collective. It's just something I struggle with. The real world is too real lately for me. Yeah. You can defend a country at all costs, but what is the country? And why do we gotta defend it? I mean... that seems like a sucky way to live. Like, why don't you just enjoy your life? What are you defending it from? How about you defend it from all the assholes running it, you know? Dude, have you read The Molecules of Emotions? No. But I want to read that. That sounds fantastic. You look forward to my lives? I look forward to you being on my lives. So anyway, emotions, feelings like anxiety, that, you know, that crushing feeling in your chest when you're just like, why do you have a physical sensation based off some concept, based off some thought process? Because something in your concept, your conceptual understanding of the way the world is triggering hormones in your body. It's triggering that energetic sensation. You know, it's like this little thing, your brain goes, oh, like, look at my hands right now. Do you see my hands moving? How are my hands moving? Look, my arm moved too. I can even play guitar. Different fingers are doing different things. I'm not really telling them to. They're just like patterns that I've played a lot, so they just kind of do it. It's the same way feelings work in your body. It's the same way emotions work. It's some concept. Now, I can have an active concept, and I could say, okay, I'm going to play something completely different than I've never played. Let's just try it. Now, those are patterns I know, but I'm thinking about it to play something different. So I just did something completely new, right? I had to kind of focus on it. I had to focus my energy on it to make my fingers do the thing that they just did, right? And so when we are aware of something, we have kind of control over it. Now, as I'm talking here, my hands have been moving to talk, and we've talked about that before, where that's sort of in a beta consciousness. It's in a lower level of brain waves happening, just like your heart's been beating this whole time and your lungs have been doing the lung thing, you know? Like this whole time you've been breathing. You didn't even think about it. It's just doing it. It's electrical signals. It's sensations. It's an electron jump from atom to atom going through the channels of energy that are your body, right? Your DNA forms all this stuff. And your mindset forms all this stuff. Before I thought about playing this pattern, which I don't really have to think about, I can talk and do it at the same time. My fingers just kind of know on this like subconscious level what to do. It's the same thing with our different like mental illnesses and things. It's the same thing with anxiety. It's like our bodies get trained to feel that way. Our bodies get trained to have these emotions and to do that all the time. And it's on this low level. And until we become conscious of that and aware of the things that are going on, we're not going to be able to change it. We're not going to be able to do something new. So we can get triggered into a certain way of being. I mean, I can even in musically, like if there's a particular like beat playing with a band or something, just from playing with music my whole life, it's like if there's a particular vibe going, like my hands will automatically start kind of playing along with the vibe of the music, you know what I mean? With whatever the beat is, they'll automatically get into the groove of the music. Now, I'm not really thinking about that. I'm just sort of doing it because it's like this subconscious programming. And all of our feelings are like subconscious thoughts. When we put awareness on them, they're up in those upper alpha waves, they're in our consciousness, and we have a little bit of control over them. But when they're down in the meta level, in that like subconscious level, it's just a feeling. Like I can feel some music and play along with that. And the same thing with all of the different like mental illnesses and things like that. You got anxiety or depression. It's like down deep in the subconscious. It's in these feelings that we've learned to feel somewhere in our experience. We've learned to feel that way through trauma, through some bullshit like conditioning from from life, from our parents, from dysregulated parents, from something that we learned, an energetic habit of feeling. And we just keep feeling like that until we are conscious and aware of it. And then once we are conscious and aware of the reason we're feeling the way we're feeling, then we can do something about it. But until then, it's just like my hands kind of moving around here to talk. It's sort of subconscious. Now, maybe we're kind of aware of it, but we got to pull it up into that consciousness and put a little bit of focus on it to be able to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you love Abraham Lincoln, who signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Yep, I'm pretty sure Abraham Lincoln was actually a black man. There's a lot of suppressed history about that. You can dig into that one. But there's some writings about him that he's a black man. So, in case you're wondering. History is fucked, you guys. The people that want to control things always mess it up, you know? It's just the way it is. You guys got your waters? Yep. Healing in that subconscious and that inner child. So we talk about like inner child healing, right? Talk about shadow work, stuff like that in the hippie land. What is that but the subconscious? What is that but a feeling within you? Ugh, this shadow, like, ugh, this thing that feels gross. Like when you tap in on that stuff and you feel that thing and it's like, ugh. You know what I mean? It's like this shadow down in you, this deep, dark space. And that's the whole thing when I'm talking about you got to place your awareness on the thing. You got to go into the painful stuff because the painful things are the making you feel the way you feel. They're the things that are giving you the anxiety. These are these old subconscious memories, these old shadows. And we call it inner child work because we learned so much of it in our childhood. I use the example all the time of how do you pull the toilet paper off the roll? This is a quiz right now. How do you do it? Do you fold it? Do you wad it? Answer right now. How do you pull the toilet paper off the roll? I want to know. Folders? Wadders? Vote up. Let's see it. I'm not really following these comments. You rip it? Your folder? Okay, we got folders in here. Well, of course we rip it off the 12, but then what do you do after that? Like you guys had to think about it, you know? Low soul pull. Okay. Fold. Your folders. Man, there's a lot of folders up in this bitch. I'm on water, you know? Just kind of get a little wad. Damn! I'm feeling judged right now. A little judged. Because I'm such a water, you know? And I don't. You don't fold it. Okay. I mean, a lot of you, maybe that's the proper way. But you kind of had to think about that real quick. You're like, no judgment, thank you. I feel better now. Ball of mess. That's basically it. That's totally on me. I judge myself for that. So you got to think about that for a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, unless you've heard this little talk before, you're like, oh, do I fold it or wad it? Like, but you've just done that. You just always do it. Now, there's a few neurotic people out there that are like, I think about it every time. And it's like, cool your shit. Like, for real. Like, don't think so hard. Just more of a flow state. It's going to serve you. But you end up doing these things. What's up, Nelly Rules? I love you, kid. I missed you, dear. When are you guys leaving on your trip? Everybody, that's my kid right there. Nelly Rules. Hi. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Fold it to protect the hand more. Okay. Depends on the toilet paper and how much you have. Okay. Ricky, yeah. Ricky knows what's up. You taking off tomorrow? Are you excited? I hope you are. You guys ready to buy some fireworks? Kids are going on a trip with their mom and some fam. Gonna have a good old time. Make sure you take some videos of Aiden blowing his finger off. Anyway, the toilet paper thing, right? You've just been doing it the same way your whole life, right? Maybe there was a point where you're like, I'm going to try folding this, or I'm going to just wad it up and not give a shit anymore. Maybe there's a point you did that. For the most part, you've just been doing it the exact same way. Just like you open the fridge the same way. You open the cabinet doors the same way. You probably get in your bed the same way. You just do the same thing that you've always done because there's no awareness about it. And no big deal. But those emotional habits that you have, those patterns of feeling the way you feel, you learned somewhere. You either learned it genetically from your family of origin, because just the same way your face looks like your mom and your dad, Excuse me. Your hands look the same way, as a little bit like your mom, a little bit like your dad. Your hair, maybe even illnesses that run in the family, things like that. All of your feelings are the same thing. That's it. That's how they felt. The genetic programming, they feel one way, and they pass it on to you. They taught you how to do the toilet paper when they first wiped your ass, and now you do the toilet paper that way. You saw them doing it. It was modeled. So when there's wounds in the family, when your parents have not learned to transmute their pain, they will always transmit it onto us. That's just how it works. It's the programming. There's nothing wrong with our parents. They've done the best they could. Paul in the Bible claimed to be my son. What are you talking about? Nana has fireworks already? Excellent. Whoa, we're not going into back versus front wipe. That's too controversial for TikTok, okay? Aw, I miss you too, Nelly. I love you. I had so much fun with you when we went to the cabin. Nelly, I love you, kid. You're the best ever. You're the best daughter I've ever had. I just want you to know that. I know you're the only daughter I've ever had, but you're also the best daughter I've ever had. And I think you're awesome. Send me a lot of pictures from the trip, okay? So anyway. Oh, nice. You're listening to the podcast. If anybody is into some podcast, it's me talking about stuff in long format, you can listen to Life is a Thing. Actually, you can go to my profile right now. I believe this little live will keep playing. If you go to the profile links, you'll see links to the podcast. You'll see links to buy me a coffee if you want for my little morning coffee walk. That's always fun. You will see links to my website, or a link to my website, if you want to get an emotional alchemy session. How to break through with emotional processing, akin to like when the colorblind person puts on the color revealing sunglasses. Nice. How did you do that? Did you feel down in on it? Like, what was the process here? Let's talk about it, because we're healing our shit. Yeah, I do have a podcast. It's called Life is a Thing. When my boss tells me we are in danger, that means the system is failing. Ready? What? What are you talking about? Logical means? I'm just going to go with it. So we have all of these emotional... Hey, what's up? You're back. Hello. We have all these emotional habits that we've created in our youth. And so that's like inner child healing. You know, something has been... Like, I'll just pull up some examples from clients. Different stories and stuff I've heard from people. One recently was... Guy was just intriguing because I love to smash on Christianity and things like that, because it's just so very wounding for kids and adults alike. Outside of the God is love part, there's a whole lot of bullshit in there. But I had a client who was struggling with anxiety at work, and he was struggling with procrastination of turning in his stuff. He was an independent contractor, and he's doing really good design work and really good video editing work and stuff like that. And so he was really struggling turning in his stuff. Like, whenever it came to the end of the project, he would procrastinate, and then he'd have to cram and get it done. And so in an emotional alchemy session, we worked back into the first time he had remembered feeling that way. And it was in college, and he was feeling that way at a presentation at school. And then we felt back in a little deeper doing the emotional alchemy process. And in high school, same thing. And remember like sweating before he had to do a presentation. And then in childhood, he remembered intentionally being the sound guy at church, because he never wanted to be called up on stage, because he always had this fear of being called up on stage and prayed for in front of the whole church, not knowing what he had done wrong. Always felt like he was kind of doing something wrong. And he was the same feeling that we traced back from his work stuff is through that emotional alchemy process of going deep down into the sensations of the body. He always felt like he was doing something wrong, and he was going to get called up on stage to get prayed for. Now, he didn't know what he was doing wrong. And he was like, wow, he just had this fear of doing it. And so, of course, he's a fairly like mellow dude, doesn't want to get called up in front of the whole church in this big old charismatic church and get prayed for, and some Hakuna Matatas and laying on of hands and stuff like that. And then we traced it back to this fear of the rapture, because it was very charismatic, and they were all real into the rapture and scaring kids and stuff like that. And he would just be playing in his room as a young child. And all of a sudden he wouldn't hear his parents, and he would just be struck with this like terror that he had missed the rapture, and he would go running downstairs looking for his parents, and they'd be out in the backyard or something like that. And it instilled this emotional pattern of feeling that way, feeling this anxiety, feeling like he had done something wrong and he was going to miss the rapture because of something he had done wrong, and he didn't know because he was just a teeny little kid, he was like 4 or 5 or something like that. No comprehension of like what of wrong or right. He's not even developed his own ego yet. Usually at 7, at the age of 7 is when kids have a developmental spot in the brain where they start to see themselves as separate from their parents. So it's like younger than that, and then a kinder and stuff like that. Can you imagine a little kindergartner being scared of missing the rapture, and all of a sudden like, oh my gosh, I missed the rapture, and just this terror in his heart, and always kind of low-level feeling like he had done something wrong. Because when you're this little kid, you don't really, you can know wrong from right and like the basics, like, don't hit your sister or something like that. But the concept of right and wrong is a little bit rough for kids to grasp, like the bigger picture, especially when it comes into like the wounds of Christianity. And so he had established an emotional pattern of feeling that way when he was a young child. And it was torturing him in his work as an adult. Always procrastinating, always having anxiety about turning his stuff in. He showed me some of his stuff, and it was awesome. It was really good work. And it's like we establish these patterns in childhood, and that's the inner child work stuff, or the shadow work, these emotional patterns, these emotional feelings. And so if you've been in a traumatic childhood, or your parents did some horrible stuff, or people in your life, there's tons of physical abuse, there's tons of sexual abuse in our society. It's like 1 in 4 children, this is from CDC reports from 2016, but I'm sure it's probably worse now. But 1 in 4 children have been struck by a family member to the point where there was marks left. They've been spanked or just struck or beaten, which is a traumatic experience for a child. 1 in 5 Americans were sexually abused by a family member. 1 in 5, right? So there's, 33 of us here? Somebody do the math. Split that up by 5. How many of us here? I don't know. I can't do that math. So I'm glad you love the sunglasses, and I'm glad you're happy to be here. So it's like we have all of this trauma in our life. 6 people here have suffered sexual abuse, statistically speaking. So 6 people here, even if you couldn't remember it, I'm working with one woman who has all of the signs, all of the trauma responses of sexual abuse. All of these vague, ghosty memories. Real ghosty. They're like suppressed deep. And I've done 3 sessions with her now, and they're like coming up to the surface, like feeling into these really gross memories, and she's having a lot of movement of these emotions and different things coming out, and it's changing how she feels. It's a kind of a slow process because they were so repressed, these memories, these feelings, because it's such a horrible thing that she ends up having trauma responses and trauma responses like even bedwetting and stuff like that, having these massive social anxieties, smelling a smell that smelled like the person that abused her, and completely shutting down and getting super angry and just feeling this anger well up in her and things like that. Just really tough stuff to deal with as an adult. And she exhibits all of the signs, even watching her in video sessions of energy, of the way she will touch her body or hold her body when we're talking about things to protect and stuff like that. She exhibits all the signs of sexual trauma, but she does not have clear memories of them, because the way memory works, when you're in a traumatic situation, it gets burned out of your alpha brainwaves. It's a protection mechanism of the autonomic nervous system. It gets completely shut out. It's like if an animal gets wounded, a hunter shoots a deer and it doesn't kill it right away. That deer just bolts and it keeps running until it bleeds out. Runs out of oil eventually, and the engine blows. Or a gazelle getting attacked by a lion or something like that. It can get its leg bitten off and that thing will still run. It doesn't lay down and go, oh God, oh, what was me? So we do that as humans because we have an ego and it's a different situation. We have a frontal lobe that's been developed. But when you move into that animal instinct mode of trauma, the brain shuts out the memory of it effectively, like the energetic feeling of it. And that's why, in a lot of the times when you've been locked in trauma, or maybe in a sexual relationships now, for you could leave your body. You feel like you're leaving your body, or you're in tears afterwards for no reason, something like that, because you don't even know that the thing's there, but that's a trauma response, that feeling of flight. When you leave your body in your own mind, you feel like you're, in the corner of the room or something like that. Australia is filled with Freemasons. Really interesting. But you do that as a flee response. There's those 4 parts of the autonomic nervous system survival mechanism of the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, where the fight response is obviously to fight, to try to get away or something like that. And the flee response is to run away. And if you're stuck in that situation, the fight response, and you're stuck and you couldn't do anything about it, your fight response will manifest as anger, just really angry about stuff. The freeze response will manifest as just sort of like feeling dead to the world if you've been stuck in that. The flight response is going to manifest as like leaving your body and things like that. And the fawn response is going to manifest as like loving your attacker, like a Stockholm syndrome. Like, oh, everything's good. I know it's bad, but I can save them. Everything's okay, stuff like that. And so these are very real things that happen in our lives from these traumas and stuff like that. Where, and yeah, like CPSD here, complex PTSD. PTSD happens when you have an elevated heart rate. It's over like 120 for a few minutes in the middle of trauma. So CPSD, if you read up on Peter Levine's work, he's got a bunch of really good examples about that. I think Body Keeps the Score is his, or was that Bessel van der Kolk? Anyway, look up some Peter Levine's work. It's excellent work in trauma and things like that. But when you have had a traumatic experience, you're stuck in the fight, flight, or freeze response or fawn response, and you can't do anything about it, and your heart rate is elevated, you're in a very high agitated state of your nervous system, that's when PTSD kicks in. So when you've had like a traumatic, that's why it happens in war and things like that. You feel like you're going to die. Everybody's getting shot around you. Your heart rate's up. You're in this very agitated state. You know what I mean? You're this like hyper focus and things like that. And then you have this element of PTSD established. It's a very strong burnout of the memories. Interesting thing about that and about trauma, I have seen in my practice in working with people in trauma and with an old girlfriend, actually, I have seen them move into a different personality, almost like schizoaffective disorder, where they become a different person. Their voice changes, their demeanor changes, their body posture changes. And it's almost, I started calling them trauma rooms when they've had something really traumatic go down. In this like burnt out space of the mind. It's not in upper consciousness, it's in the feelings of the body, the feelings. It's constantly, amygdala is constantly triggering that energy center where this memory is somehow held in the body. And we see a lot of work how it's held in this like cellular level in the fascia and things like that. And they have this response when they're triggered into one of these states. So one woman, I've all the permission to talk about her story. She wants me to share it to help other people, but she had a series of rapes. She had grown up in a kind of rough area of Mexico and was raped as a young child and had multiple rapes throughout her life, even into her adult life. And the last one was over a year ago in October. So not this last October, but the October before. And she had come to me for help. She's like, I have this, like, she knew she had like a victim energy and that she was being like the predators knew what was about, Dissociative identity disorder is very much a trauma response, things like that. Anyway, we got the, and I can agree that trauma is held in the body. Yeah, as a massage therapist, body workers will pull that stuff out full time, big time. Yeah, you can definitely release these feelings. Like you can be getting a massage and all of a sudden somebody's crying and weeping and like, feeling horrible and things like that, especially if you're doing like deeper body work, stuff like that. Anyway, this woman that I had been working with, and I was working with her for a few months solid, and we did some really good somatic sessions and release sessions and the emotional alchemy work and stuff like that, and actually cleared a bunch of the stuff. It was great. But she would occasionally get stuck. She would get triggered, and when she was an active client of mine, she would call me and say, like, I'm stuck, and her voice sounded different. Like everything about her was different. Her voice sounded like a little girl. Her voice, her posture. I'd drive over to town and go help her out. Yeah, like schizoaffective disorder, schizophrenia. That I truly believe that lies in what I call trauma rooms. And it's like when you get triggered into that state, some memory hits some form of your consciousness, your nervous system. And the way your nervous system works, when it fires together, it wires together. So you have all this neuron bonding going on. And then when one thing goes off, it's like a social network. It sets the rest of your senses off. And then you go into this state of overwhelmed trauma where instead of being the person that you are in the moment, you almost move entirely back into the feelings of the person that the trauma happened to. So if it was an 8-year-old girl, now you're an 8-year-old girl. And you're acting like an 8-year-old girl. And your voice sounds like an 8-year-old girl. And everything about your body responds because your body doesn't know the difference between a conscious and a subconscious sensation. And all of those thoughts are just sensations. All of those concepts that you have in your ego, in your alpha mind, of the way things should be and the way you're processing the world through your lens of understanding are nothing more than concepts. But those concepts are also feelings in your body. And all of this other stuff is held somehow in the body, so you feel it, and then your body doesn't know that you're not in danger because you don't have it in your upper consciousness, so it triggers your amygdala, and then more cortisol and more adrenaline and more bullshit goes down, and you feel that happening within you. Yeah, I do Reiki. I'm a Reiki level 1. I got certified, but I was like, I'm already doing this like with clients. It was already something that I was doing just naturally, and I just didn't pursue it more. Yeah, your emotions are all locked away. Yeah, and sometimes also when you can't feel anything, like you can't feel the beauty of the world around you, it's because of those emotions. It's like you wall it off. It's like a protection mechanism. It's almost like it's a freeze response. You're just like playing dead emotionally. So you're blocking out all the pain, right? For any future pains, it's like a wound, a physical wound. If you have a cut on your arm, you want to protect it, and you don't want anything to touch it. So emotionally, if you have these wounds, emotional wounds from different traumas or bullshit like that, you like emotionally wall it off, and you stop feeling that. But it blocks, it might block the feelings coming in, but it also blocks any of the sense of the good stuff too. So yeah, you can block out the bad stuff, but you also block out the good stuff, and you start feeling kind of dead inside and emotionless and things like that. And you can absolutely open all this stuff up, and that's what I do in Emotional Alchemy, is helping people to open these up through a process which I call Emotional Alchemy. It's kind of like a somatic experiencing type process of going in there in a state of mind and feeling all of these sensations deeply, and holding a space for you to go into these dark spaces and go into the shadow and go into the wounds, so you can open that stuff up. It's pretty scary. It can be very scary when it's some heavy trauma, because you kind of have to go back into the feelings of the trauma, and it's sucky. And I feel it in my clients, like while they're feeling it too, and I know how sucky it is. I've felt the feelings of like rape energy pulse through my body, and it was the grossest thing I've ever felt. I was just like, it was disgusting. Anyway, okay. Sister and a mom who have traumatic past and did responses. Pretty surreal and sad, yeah. Trauma responses are real. Do you experience what some might call a non-dual state? I'm not really sure what that is, but is that just like a flow state? Like you're just there with all of it? I'm always feeling that. It's a state of acceptance, of love. You should be protecting America, telling people who are trying to Pearl Harbor instead of... yeah, okay. Is the color sunglasses space... It's the color sunglasses space. That's correct. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, let me get back on some of these comments. Yes, I finally in tune with how my body has stored insane baseline of anxiety. Oh, yeah. All those feelings are memory. Think of all of your feelings, all of your sensations as subconscious memories. Those are your subconscious. Right? You got your brain waves, right? That's all the energies of your body if you've been here since the beginning. your alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and theta. Your alpha brain waves are the upper register of where you're thinking about shit. You know, you're processing the information. You're watching this TikTok and you're thinking about this actively. You know what I mean? Beta brain waves are like my hand moves automatically. Now it's in alpha because we placed awareness on it. You see my hand moving to talk. It's in alpha. Before you noticed my hands moving to talk, it was in beta understanding, a feeling. It's like a subconscious sensation. And you got your gamma, your delta, and your theta. And they all do different things for the energy that is you in your body. And so the feelings that gets triggered in your body from this like subconscious awareness, all of your senses, a smell can trigger trauma. A social anxiety happens all the time because of trauma. Because you go into a room and you feel everybody else around you, and inevitably somebody in a larger group reminds your nervous system of some past experience that sucked, some past experience that taught you a way to feel. And so then all of a sudden you just feel anxious and you don't know why. And it's because there's an energy from somebody in there that reminds you of a past shitty experience, you know? Incorporating Reiki or incorporating somatic stuff. Often people don't realize what they're holding. Seriously. Big times. Yeah, incorporating... I've done like Reiki massage on people. It's great. You can like feel into them. If you get real tapped in and you stop being all in your head and you just feel the world around you and like the whole thing, the entire experience, and you're not like all worked up in the way things must be. It's kind of a meditative state like all the time, just like a flow state. You can feel people's trauma. Like I can feel people's stories oftentimes before they feel it, before they're aware of it, because they've been feeling it their whole life. They're used to it. But then you have like someone as an observer feeling into them. And I tell you, man, sometimes it's like, especially if I'm with somebody in their field, like I can almost tell what their story is just by the way they feel energetically. You got to dig through the shit pile to heal. Yep. You got to pass through it to heal it. You got to be able to feel it to heal it. Go to fight for your country. Non-dual, you see a separate self as an illusion. I think that like a non-dual mindset is literally like the original sin of the knowledge of good and evil, to say, oh, I am separate from all of this. When you, as an energetic space fart, is a bunch of little buzzing atoms with the energies of everything flowing through you, and we are all feeling all the same things all the time. And it is our perspective, it is our mindset and our feeling set that causes us to interpret all of these feelings that we are all feeling all the time, just by the nature of how energy works, and how the fact that you are a drop in the ocean, which makes you the entire ocean as well. You are the drop, you are the ocean, you are part of the whole thing. That's literally like the original sin. To say, oh, I am separate. I have the knowledge of good and evil. This is good and this is bad, when everything is all the things all the time. So I don't live in a non-dual state. I'm in like strong duality all the time. Logical means just got excited. That's good. Is an active ego mind to identify our character through self-labeling? Yep. He's the label. How much you want to bet? Who? Incorporating your emotional alchemy. Yes, that would be cool. Actually, Sarah and I are working on doing a training program for other people to learn how to be emotional alchemists, and then, because it's something I developed and that Sarah and I have been working on together, but we want to get it out to as many people as possible. So in the future, for massage therapists or energy workers or coaches and things like that, we'll have a program where you can learn how to do the method of it, and holding space for people to feel into their stuff and to release these things. Because once you move through it, once you get aware of the original meta things and you do a little reprogramming, and once you're in that pain portal of feeling those emotions, that pain is actually a flood of cortisol within your system. Like that's that energy of that anxiety and stuff like that. It's partially cortisol. It's a stress hormone. It's a neuroreceptor. And so when you're feeling that cortisol injection, it also opens up neuroplasticity in the mind. So it's a little bit like a mushroom trip. You experience this like, whoa, like sensation, but then your neuroplasticity is open, so then you can reprogram into a new way to feel it at the same time. So who you vote for, don't get me wrong, I support a burden he sent aid to Ukraine. I don't really care. The paradox of, okay, hold on, shit. How does one feel that when all those emotions were atrophied? Oh, yeah, you just feel like you're dead inside. Can I heal fibromyalgia? Absolutely. I have healed a bunch of psoriasis on my body through healing things emotionally. I would also look into Anthony Williams' Medical Medium. His information is fantastic on doing different cleanses and things like that to clear out a lot of the stuff. A lot of the times these symptoms are aggravated by heavy metals and environmental toxins. But things like fibromyalgia is very often a trauma response in everything that I've read. That thing where it's just simply some old traumas in there, and it's this mindset that creates this feeling set. All of those gut diseases and things like that we have in our system, especially like every 30-year-old woman has something going on. Not every one of you, but I've experienced that a lot. Where in feminine culture, there's so much like Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis and things like that, and gut problems. And I believe it is all the tension, like from a lot of the patriarchy bullshit that we put on women for years and years and years, that causes us to lock all that energy up in that sacral area, in that root area. A lot of sexual shame, stuff like that, conditioning from the church. That's all of the energy that holds down in that region, and that's in like the chakra system, which aligns with Western medicine nervous system as well. It goes both ways. And the only reason we feel a difference between body and spirit in Western culture is because in ancient Rome, there was two philosophers that had a debate about, it's mind and body all is one, and no, it's mind is separate than the body. And we had the guy that was all mind, body, all is one, went to the east, and the other guy stayed with Rome, and Rome set our entire Western culture, and so we've been believing that it is separate, that there is some kind of ethereal spirit, but you are spirit. You are it. Like, you are nothing but energy. And our mindset completely creates our reality. Your expectation of the way it can be, and that can be in your conscious mind or in your subconscious mind, literally forms all the quarks and the gluons and things like that, all the subatomic particles that build up the atom. Those subatomic particles arrange themselves in a certain way based on your expectation. And that expectation creates the atomic field of the electron spinning around the nucleus, which is the little proton and the neutrons, not the neutrons, the proton and the whatever it is, that creates the nucleus of the atom, which then creates the molecules, which creates all of the building blocks of life. So in all the quantum experiments and things like that, is just based on your expectation. So if you expect yourself through some old trauma on this low level, not in your conscious mind, but in your subconscious mind, you expect it to be some way, like through genetics, it's going to be that way. But if you can change your feeling set and you can change your mindset, it completely changes your reality. And sometimes it's very slow. Like myself, I healed psoriasis through healing my emotions. I had a whole bunch like on the sides of my head, and just like a couple spots on my body. It was sucked. And when I healed my emotions and I went through my own journey of healing and developing even the emotional alchemy, is when it just went away. It stopped being a thing. And interestingly enough, I had a emergency filling taken out, an old amalgam filling, which has a lot of heavy metals in it, maybe a year and a half ago. And when that was taken out and more heavy metals were introduced into my system, because of that, some of the psoriasis spots popped back up. So it's a balance of mindset, also environmental toxins, and that's why you get into like health and mindset and things like that in the spiritual realm. Opinion of EMDR hypnosis. I've never done hypnosis. I've done EMDR, and I like EMDR, but the thing is, when you open up those memories, you got to make sure you got a good therapist. And I think opening up memories, it's more about integration than it is about opening the memories. Like, what do you do with it afterwards? So make sure you have a really good therapist if you're going to jump into EMDR and hypnosis, because you can open up these old painful memories, and you got to have someone that's going to hold space for you and not judge you and let you feel okay energetically in the midst of that bullshit, you know? We got a massage therapist loving her job. This is good. What's up, Nathan? Drink your water. He didn't block me and is building great tolerance. Did better than I would have. Me? Yeah, I just don't care. I'm gonna heal things at a meta level and not all the bullshit society stuff. How can we get over someone? I'm going through a really bad breakup. Like, she played me really bad. I'm sorry to hear that. Genuinely feel traumatized. I can't stop thinking about it. Yeah. Okay. I had a client the other day who, another church trauma client, like the church trauma is prevalent in our society. It's so low grade, where he felt like he was completed by this person. He felt like she finally, like he felt connected with her and he attached to that. And then she ended up just being a not great person and cheating on him and stuff like that. And it was very traumatic and he was having a very hard time getting over it. And in this emotional alchemy session, we felt down in those feelings, and it went all the way back to pressure from his dad to, excuse me. I'm allergic to you guys. Pressure from his dad to be a pastor, and he didn't want to do that. And he always felt like he didn't belong from that, like kind of meta feelings back in his youth. He always felt like he was like outside of society. And so then he got in this relationship where he attached, he felt finally connected to somebody. He felt like somebody actually saw him. It kind of put a Band-Aid on that wound. And then when it broke off, he was very traumatized by it. And when we went back into the feelings of the original meta feelings, it turned out it was this feeling of not belonging, because he could write on a piece of paper, like, is this a good relationship or not? And it was not a good relationship, but he still felt this strong need. So going over in the breakup, I would recommend this. Sit with your negative feelings. Don't run away from the shit. You got a hitting in your gut? Go sit down and meditate. Take some good deep breaths. Feel those feelings. Ask yourself, what do these feelings remind me of? When's the first time I felt these feelings? Because that feeling set that you have coming up from the split up of the breakup are those meta traumas, are those meta sensations, are those negative self-belief systems, are those inner child wounds, are those the shadows, things like that. So don't run away from the pain. The pain is a teacher. And I truly believe that we kind of draw that into our life to help us to open up and to reconnect to the whole thing, to not be separate from it. So I drew so much bullshit into my own life. I crashed my entire life with all of the best intent. Didn't try to do it. Had my business go out. My wife left. Every single identity I ever thought of as myself as a person was wiped out, like in a year and a half, and it was quite traumatizing. And what I found at the bottom of all that was me having a bunch of negative thoughts about myself, negative feelings about myself. And I was able to heal all of those things through entering that portal of pain. So don't fight it. Just embrace the suck. Go through it. When you're in the shit, don't thrash about. Just look up. Look outside of the shit. Feel it when you're in it. Allow it. And walk towards the light. You know what I'm saying? Because you thrash about, you just get shit all over yourself. What's up, Bree? Hello. How'd you develop emotional alchemy? That was, I didn't have any money for, oh shit balls. There's a lot of comments. I didn't have any money for therapy, and so I just meditated a lot and read a lot and did some psychedelic work and felt deeply into it. And actually, honestly, rode a one wheel a lot, because the one wheel is a teacher. You guys know those things, those self-balancing skateboards with a big fat wheel in the middle? Here's what that thing taught me. I like to go fast on it, right? I always wanted to go real fast on it. But if you're going over 18 miles an hour on that thing and you're tense, you're fucked. Any little bump. That wheel's spinning fast enough, the gyroscope in that wheel, it's trying to self-right itself, right? And go straight because it's a big, heavy gyroscope. And if you tense up out here, the gyroscope in the middle, and you say, no, I'm trying to control you, what happens is your nervous system can't keep up with the, it goes one way, you try to correct, it goes the other way, you overcorrect, and then all of a sudden speed wobbles, and then you're just eating asphalt, right? And it sucks. I've done it 4 times. It's been very traumatic. I've broken my collarbone, I've cracked a helmet, things like that. So I learned to not do that by releasing all of the sensations in my body to come to this space of like bodily somatic zen. And through that process, I learned to release the feelings and tensions of emotions and live in a space of just like balanced peace, like within my body. So when I get hit with something that is painful for me emotionally, I can let it go and just still maintain zen. So in emotional alchemy, it was a process of learning how to control effectively my nervous system, learn how to control my endocrine system and what hormones were firing based on my concept and like willing it out of my system. But then I also sat and meditated a lot, and I learned to feel down deeply into my feelings and my sensations and sit with those uncomfortable things. And then I realized as I dug deeper into these old memories, because I was placing awareness on the actual sensation, these old memories would come up to the surface. And so then I just developed a process of helping people down into those things so they can unpack them as well. Would be very interested in that, especially the coup that would be a hit. Yeah, good. We'll get you in there. Keep an eye on the TikTok here. I'll announce it when it comes up. I read before that abused kids leave their body or create different worlds while the abuse happens. Absolutely. That's the flight response. Fight, flight, freeze, or fawn are the four systems that we've kind of identified in the autonomic nervous system of these protection mechanisms. Fight is obviously like trying to fight back. But if you cannot fight back because you're a small child, you end up going into a different response. Either you leave your body mentally, by part of the freeze response, part of the flee response, or you love your attacker, that in the fawn response, things like that. Where'd the guitar go? It's going to come back. Why is it Reiki is very effective for me, but only temporary? Because it opens up those energetic channels. It kind of soothes that for a moment. It's like putting a Band-Aid on something, but you got to get the meta things. You got to go into the meta sensations and the feelings, the inner stuff. And you can open, once you clear those things out, you get those old memories up to the surface, then reprogram those, then you're free, you're open, you're healed. Cupping for fibro, yep. Cupping's great for the fascial tissue, yep. You have a tricky change my crop topics thought lately, brother. Oh, amazing. I'm glad. Truly changed them. That's awesome. I have Trump that was cheated Biden, failing the psychopathic as vice president. Yeah, cool. What's up, Caitlin? How are you? Protons and neutrons again. Oh, so are you surprised, Caitlin? You surprised? See how gods can't work? What? Like a glass of milk on a bad trip. Yep. Damn internet. I can see you. I can't see any. Caitlin, you got to get your internet. We had a great vacation. Let me tell you about it. It was so good. Logical means, what the fuck are you talking about? I mean, I love you so much. So much. But you got yourself all worked up, brother. You got yourself all worked up. You're going to drive yourself crazy thinking like that. How do you start to focus, love, heal yourself? Yes. That is a great question. Allow yourself to sit in your shit. Allow yourself to feel your negative feelings. Sit with your pain. Ask yourself, why would I feel this way about myself? Because those are your feelings. Nobody else can give you those feelings. Those are the way that you feel about life. Now, there's plenty of shit that'll trigger you to feel that way, but those are still your feelings. That's your endocrine system firing your body. You got to learn how to feel your shit. Also, do you think we're all God or that gods are separate from us? Well, I think that energetically speaking, we are all one. I think that your concept of God is nothing more than your egoic projection of yourself. I mean, why do you think we got a man shape? Why isn't God a plant, Like, that's just as much part of all this as I am. Why isn't God a wall? This is made out of atoms too. It has an energetic signature to it. Now, it's very slowed down, so it's solid. But, I mean, anytime we come up with an idea of God, it's just an egoic projection. It's, this is what I think God is. It's literally just you thinking something. Like, nobody knows anything about God, because every time you come up with your own concept of God, it's still your concept of God, and then you generate the feelings in your body of whatever God's love or God's manifestation or something like that. But when you look at the quantum stuff, all the little load level stuff, your God is just an egoic projection. Okay. I'm not crazy, man. Just thankful you respect freedom of speech. Yeah, you can vent, but, I mean, is it helpful for you? Do you feel at peace with the world around you? Anything else about psychedelic work? You guys want to talk about psychedelics? We got any cops here? Any cops? Does anybody know the flavors of Gatorade? That's how we know if you're a cop or not. We can talk about psychedelics. Logical means you got to get yourself on some psychedelics, brother. I normally don't recommend that for anybody, but I think you should definitely go for it, brother. Just fuck yourself right up. You'll stop thinking all those thoughts that drive you crazy. Because you'll realize that you're a part of a much bigger whole. What is my ethnic background? I don't know, just Euro mutt. Oh, acid made you feel loved. Yeah, acid's a beautiful one. I really am like hesitant to just like be like, yeah, guys, psychedelics are great, because psychedelics, all they do is break your ego, right? And if you're not ready for that, like, you're fucked. Like, you do it in the wrong setting with the wrong energy, you're open to all the energy around you. You do that in some kind of party scene, and you're open to everybody else's energy, and you want to talk about getting triggered. We talked about blocking that emotionally, all of the feelings around you, you're wide open. You got some traumas hiding in there, you're going to have a bad trip. And if you don't know how to flow, and you don't know how to release into that, you don't know how to let that happen, woo! You'll be in some psychosis. You'll be fucked up. So, if you want to play with psychedelics, just be aware that they will open up those traumas. They will open up that stuff, and you might not understand it. It might not come up to your alpha consciousness. You're just going to feel it. But at the same time, it opens you up to the greater whole. You get out of your head. It breaks your ego momentarily while you're in it, and it opens up neuroplasticity so you can have a new thought. Sarah and I did a deep healing journey with a client that came into town. We did a very, very low dose of mushrooms for him, and we both worked with him just with energy work and mindset work. And we did a massage, and we did the whole thing, and we're with him for the trip. And he was a changed man afterwards, like completely transformed. And it was, honestly, it was a pretty low dose, but it was our energy like allowing him to walk through the process that gave him the deep experience. This is how deep the experience was. The next day, or actually it was that day and the next day, he was trying to get his phone to open with Face ID, and Face ID didn't recognize him. So that's some healing work. He was a completely changed man. He got the perspective. He was completely transformed in that moment. Now it's a matter of practicing it, integrating as the effects wear off, but you learn a new way to feel in that journey, assuming you're in a good setting, and then you have these revelations, and then it's all about practice. It's all about integration, Okay, let's see. No desert. Love some acid in your day. On Alan Watts. I love Alan Watts. He's great. Trip, this boy don't know a shit about psychosis. What? You need to do some mushrooms. I'm in Encinitas, California. It's right above San Diego. It's a little beach town, like 20, 30 minutes north of like downtown San Diego. I avoid people and don't trust them, but I've stopped hating them. Business tofu. You wouldn't avoid me, right? If you saw me on the street, you'd give me a hug. Are we friends? We better be friends. I see you on here all the time. And you got a great name. Business tofu. Yeah, we're friends. We're friends. Okay, can you send me some love? You ready? You ready, motherfucker? Take that. I fucking love you. Pew, 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 pew. Good. Yay. I adore you too, Business Tofu. You better give me a hug if you not avoid me if you see me on the street. Hey, long time new shirt. What's up, Funky Fresh? Not a new shirt, but one that I haven't worn. Maybe you just didn't see it on the live. Chapel of Awareness in Encinitas. Oh, really? Hey, we're going to do, coming up soon here, you guys, and tell me if you would be interested in this. We're going to hit 100,000. I'm going to friend you, Cuckoo Banana Pants. Oh, that is a great. What? No likes. Make some videos, girl. I make videos over, but that's the Chapel of Awareness is right off, like, behind the 101 there. I make videos, like, on that street. A lot of my videos are right by there, I think. I've never been in there. Okay. Any advice on working a mandatory job while suffering? Why is it mandatory? Nothing is mandatory. You do whatever the fuck you want. It's all your perspective on making it mandatory or not. Who says it has to be mandatory? Only do things that you love. Only do things that are fulfilling for you. Only do things that are meaningful. Because you only have this life to live. And if you're always in suck, you're just going to create more suck. Because you're expecting it to suck. So move towards things that feel good. Move away from things that suck. And you'll be a better person. You'll be free. You'll be at peace with yourself. You'll love people more. And when you do things to serve yourself, not in a negative way, but in a good way, like to say, I'm going to truly love myself. I'm not going to do things that suck. Then your energy changes and it spreads out to everybody else, And then all of a sudden you're wearing a pink hat and helping people heal their shit on TikTok, Oh, I love you too there. Oh, we're not friends? What's up, Clifford? I thought we were friends. I've requested a follow from you before and you have never accepted that. Clifford, I love you so much. I just feel so sad. I'm kidding. I don't feel sad, but I love you. What's up, Peyton Weber? Money is mandatory. Maybe. I mean, there's definitely tribes in the jungle that don't have money. And they're the happiest people in the world. Your concept of money isn't mandatory. Your concept of what you have to have. I mean, you're going to make a bunch of money to create happiness for yourself. Why not create happiness? I learned to create happiness for myself. All of the money that I make is just play. Even in the emotional alchemy sessions, I just play. I'm just there with people. It's just like this. Sit down on a video call, have a good time with them. Like, I make money. It doesn't have to be work. Listen to some Alan Watts. Blow your little brain hole open. You're officially a fan. This is the first I've ever watched this long. Holy cow. I'm glad you're here. I'm dying laughing, so I want to be friends with you. Are we friends? We should be friends if you're dying laughing. I mean, that's important shit, Bam, we're friends. No bio. Write yourself a bio. Being selfish can actually be looked at as positive when framed with the pursuit of happiness. Yes, so it's selfishness is like, I'm going to serve myself. I am going to fill myself up. And when you fill yourself up, you overflow to others. Oh, you just recently started your journey. Well, guess what? You're there. You're already arrived. All of the things that you think you need to do to get somewhere in your journey are just keeping you from being arrived. So just, here we go. Do some little witchcraft. Motherfuckers, you're arrived. Huh. Voila. Done. Now everything's just play. Do all the spiritual things you want. Read all the things you want, but you are arrived in this moment and keep practicing that. Because at the end of the day of your spiritual journey, I'm going to do all these things and then somehow I'm going to arrive and I'm going to transcend into a beam of light. Like, no. Yeah, you better write a good bio. You better write a rad one about how much you love people and how awesome you are, okay? So, yes, you can do a meditation, a bowl meditation. I just happen to have the bowl of peace right here. Oh, thoughts on starting over. That's the best thing you can do. I got started over like accidentally. I didn't try to. Your first tattoo said play? I love that. The only tattoo I have that I ever got says flow. And I wasn't into any kind of spirituality stuff. I just got this tattoo because I was talking to this guy and it just really hit me. I was like, that's my fucking problem. I'm like forcing everything. I'm trying to make everything like work. So hard. So hard. Oh, I got so started over. The universe like forced me to start over. It was brutal. Everything was smashed. And I just ended at the bottom. I mean, I everything was smashed. Every single identity, way I thought it was supposed to be. And then from the bottom, I didn't rebuild myself into anything. I just served myself. And I became happy. And I learned to heal my traumas and my wounds. And then I was free. And now I just do whatever I want. But it's great. It's like the most meaningful thing to sit here on TikTok and be like, you are so loved, motherfucker. Like, because you are. And you feel that. And you're like, oh my God, Daniel loves me. Because it's true. And I couldn't do that if I had a bunch of ego of like, this is the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, that bowl wasn't even there. I just manifested it. You'd sweat him harder than the bowl he hit? You can't sweat me, sucker. I'm gonna sweat over anything. This bowl here, let's talk about this bowl and why I hit it. And we'll do a little meditation. It's the bowl of peace. I bought it from the man at the farmer's market that also sells acid out of his van. This bowl is just as much God as anything else, because this bowl is a vibration machine. You hear it? You hear those vibrations? You got a C-note bowl, that's heart space. It's like in the mid 500s to mid 800s hertz frequency. And what the fuck is a frequency, right? A frequency is how many times the edge of this bowl oscillates in a given second. When I ding it with the ring it makes a noise. Why is it making a noise? Well, one, because it's brass and it's hard. It's just vibrating. So what's happening is the edge of this bowl vibrates. This is approximately 433. I mean, it could be 432, which is like the frequency of the earth and stuff like that. So this is like a sacral bowl. The guy told me it was a heart space bowl, but I ran it on a spectrum analyzer to check because I didn't believe him. And it is most definitely about 433 relative hertz. Now, when I first hit it, it's a little faster and then it slows down to a relative one. So it's like ding. So that's the frequency. So what's happening is this is vibrating all of this is like, and you hear like an oscillation because it rings faster. You hear that? It rings on one side, it rings on the other side, and it's whacking all the air molecules around, right? It's creating sound waves, a frequency of sound waves. It's vibrating all those molecules, it's slapping them all around at about 433 times a second. So sometimes these sound waves hit each other, and they meet in the middle, and they're out of phase, and so they create a different texture of sound. So what happens is all of this vibration and all of this energy of sound whacks all the little air molecules around in the air through a sound wave. And then they hit this little microphone, right? Whoops. They hit the microphone, and they go through an analog to digital conversion process. So here's analog and sound waves through a waveform, like a frequency, a hertz. How many times a second it's going? And then it gets converted to ones and zeros, and it gets beamed over 5G, which is another frequency. It's 5 million, I think, hertz per second. So 5 million times a second, gigahertz, 5 gigahertz. I think that's a million times in a second. So 5 million times in a second, it goes, it's a very high frequency. It's not an ultra high frequency, but it's a very high frequency in the frequency spectrum, which the electromagnetic spectrum is all the things. Like, you are a part of that spectrum. This bowl is a part, the sound waves are a part, these lights that are hitting me with photons are a part of it. In fact, I can even change the color temperature of these. Watch this. Let me turn one of these off so you can see it. Now, watch this frequency change. Let me see if I got the right knob here. You see how it gets a little bluer? That's a different frequency of photons. See how it gets a little warmer? That's a different frequency. It's measured by hertz or by frequency. How many times a given second the photon is oscillating. And when the photon is oscillating at a different frequency, it changes the color. So we also have sound waves and we have radio waves, and it's all frequencies. So that bowl rings, I hit it with the dinger. And it hits that microphone. It converts it to digital ones and zeros. Goes through 5G, goes to an antenna that shoots it up into space, hits a satellite. You got the ghost of Steve Jobs there wrestling Elon Musk in a bowl of butter, like a kiddie pool. They don't do the Jell-O thing. They like it to be a little greasier. There's an alien involved. It gets kind of weird, but it's what has to happen for this to work. And then they send it back down to Earth, to you, to another tower, radio tower, and then that's broadcast out to you. And your phone has a little conductor in it, and it picks that up. And then it converts it from a ones and zeros digital process to an analog process, and it vibrates a speaker in your phone or your earbuds at approximately 433 times in a given second. That little speaker goes blah, 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 blah. That's why you see those bass speakers like moving, because they're at a very low frequency. Those are like 70 to 40 hertz, like super low. So it's like very slow oscillation. When this is 433, you can't even see it. You can't see it vibrating because the frame rate of TikTok is probably pretty low, so there's no way you could see it. Anyway, neither here nor there. So then it hits your eardrum, and it goes at 433 times a second, and the eardrum is connected to the eardrum bone, which pokes you right in the brain spot. And then you perceive through getting poked in the brain by that little eardrum thing, you perceive of this as sound. But it's just energy. Like, what's that conversion process from eardrum to getting poked in the brain? That's your concept. That's your perspective. That's your ego. You're taking it in through your senses. Now, if you were sitting here in the presence of the bowl, or you had a really good audio reproduction, and there wasn't a lot of the frequency lost in the ones and zeros in the process of sending it through space, which cuts a little bit of it out and stuff like that, you could actually feel a little bit of it, like, oh, that feels kind of nice. So when you do a sound bowl healing, when there's a bunch of, a hippie out there in a little white dress, like ringing the dingers and doing these things, and they're all humming, you feel like you're going to shit your pants. You're like, oh. All these binaural beats where it's on one side of your head, you hear one frequency, and the other side of your head, you hear another frequency. Your brain does some math, and it creates another frequency, and then you feel it through your body, and you're just like, what is happening? It's wild stuff. It's all just energy, just like you are. You're creating your entire reality based on how you think and how you feel. You're creating the reality of the sound of this bowl in your head, even though it's been through space wrestling with aliens and stuff. Like, it's just your concept of the way things should be, just like everything. All of it is your concept. All of those feelings that you have, all of those traumas and shit like that, that's your concept of the way that things are. You feel it a certain way, and you say, that's what this is. I know what that is. Even though you could be completely friends with some. The dude that we did the deep dive with on a couple weekends ago, he didn't trust anybody. He had been so wounded in his life path through school. He just grew up in a little rough situation that he didn't trust anybody. He did not even he called us on a burner phone. He might be on here right now. He's got a Stock Talk account. No picture. Called us on a burner phone. Wouldn't give his real name. Sent an anonymous money order to pay for the session. Right? Because he'd been so wounded by everyone in life that that's the way he thought it was. That everybody was out to get him. That's the way it felt in his body. Everybody was out to get him. Because from his experience, everybody had been out to get him. Because he had just had a really rough run as a child. And through Sarah and I just loving him to death and augmenting it with a little psilocybin, he was able to open to the point where he's like, holy fuck, I get it now. And he's out making friends. And he didn't have a single friend in his life. He just found us on TikTok. And he's out changing his life, and smiling and being open and introducing himself to people and stuff like that. It changed his reality through the concept. Do you think it's possible to do anything without being selfish? Do you act based on our desires? It's just a concept. Like, what is selfishness? I'm selfish as fuck. I only do things that serve me. Now, what I've found that serves me is to love, because that feels the best in me. And to give, sitting here on TikTok. The glasses are from Crap Eyewear. Fantastic company. They make all these rad, retro vibe. It says crap right there, which makes me laugh. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Oh, but my world is just to give. Because to love you guys and to love my clients and people coming in feels awesome. Thank you for all those roses. That makes me feel awesome. I feel in a state of love all the time. Of dropping all the bullshit, not caring, and I can just love people. And for me to love people is to create that within myself. So I am love all the time. So I feel I'm in love all the time. Like, tra-la-la, I'm in fucking love, it's great. Like, why wouldn't you want to feel that way? Get selfish, motherfuckers. Okay. Like people building Tesla coils that can cause psychopathic tendencies some doctors don't believe. It's all energy. I mean, yeah. You could definitely... Wow, guys, thanks for the love, man. Spaceman AZ is here. Yes. What's up, brother? How you healing up? Kristen's here. Hi, Kristen. How are you doing, girl? Sarah and I were loving sending little videos to you up at the cabin. We were like, oh, we love Kristen. Bro, I say the same thing. Love that answer. Yeah, like why wouldn't you want to love? Why wouldn't you want to feel in love all the time? When you heal your wounds and you get over that stuff, you're healing up, girl. Love you, sister. Seriously. Big time. I feel it. I feel my love. You feel it right now, too. See? It feels great. Why wouldn't you want to just be in love? Why do you want to be all bitter? Why do you want to hold on to that shit? Why do you want to hold on to all that hurt in your heart? To say, oh, you've done this to me and you've done this to me. It's like, yeah, I might feel that way, but it's still you feeling it. It's all an inside game. And as soon as you can let that go, you can be free. And then you can just be in love. And like, what's his name trying to get me all worked up about protecting America or something like that? I didn't even give a shit. Logical means? I don't care. I'm here to love people. I don't fucking care. Like, that's not love. You're going to feel all worked up all the time. Spaceman, I wish I could be better. Living in the moment has helped me feel unaccomplished. I just feel unaccomplished. Well, why do you got to be accomplished? Your thought of being accomplished at one point is your thought of trying to move towards happiness. I have accomplished something and now I will be happy. It's like, fuck right off, just be happy. Enjoy yourself. And you will accomplish everything. Because it's just right now in this moment. You little space fart. God, I love you. Okay. Why are things so simple but at the same time so complicated? Because we're just conditioning. That's the human experience. Just let it be simple. Feel that. You don't gotta get all worked up about it. Try to live in the moment, but me not working, I feel like I'm a burden. Yeah, bro. Go into those feelings. Well, you crashed your motorcycle, man. Give yourself a break. Look at that. Look at that teacher. Thank you for all those roses. Look at that teacher of crashing your motorcycle. That's the learning portal. You're in pain right now. Not that you're in physical pain because you're healing up good. But that's the teacher. You're feeling that feeling of being a burden. Go in on that feeling and ask yourself, why would I feel that way about myself? Unpack that. Like the lesson of the motorcycle is right there for you to learn from. Go unpack why you would feel like a burden. You're just a space fart. You're here in a moment. You can create anything you desire. Your burdenness is a concept. What's your opinion on antidepressants? I'm worried that they will diminish my emotions or spirit. My opinion is, if you're so fucked up you can't operate, take some antidepressants. Try to find yourself somebody who can really help you along in the process and is not just trying to sell you antidepressants, but is someone that is really trying to help you heal. It is trying to help you change the way you are. Because sometimes we get such in a chemical loop of depression and things like that, that the only way to get out is to teach ourselves a new way to feel. Now, try the antidepressant and say, this is a new way to feel. And then maybe do a little bit less and practice that new way to feel. Change the energies of your body. Change the way your body feels about stuff. And get yourself off them. Because you don't need them to be in perfection. You might need them to get yourself out of bed, though. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're totally okay. I wish to become enlightened to your level, man. I really love what you're saying. Dude, just be there. You're there. Ready? I'm doing witchcraft right now. You're fucking enlightened, bitch. Get it. Ta-da! Everything else is just the work to do. Choose enlightenment. And then everything that comes up that is in between you and the feeling of enlightenment is just your work to do. And then let that stuff go and be. You know? Best way to help someone that helps that you gotta... Okay, this is a good question. What's the best way to help someone who turns down a helping hand because they think the world is against them? Don't buy into their bullshit. Man, thank you for all those roses. I feel really tingly inside. You have to be the guru. You cannot do anything to pick them up. They will drag you right down. You change your energy to not buy into their bullshit. You change your energy to just be in love all the time around them. You find a way to heal yourself fully and completely. Because whatever it is about them feeling like the world is against them and being down and you're caring for them is non-acceptance, saying you have to change. That's not love. But when you accept them as they are, you kind of like throws it in their face. Like, you know, if you can accept them, then obviously the world is not against them within you. It's like, oh, sure, you're that way. Now, it can be a drag if it's so different than your energy. But if you really want to help, you have to change it within you and then just be a new person and model it to them. Show them the way. You cannot force them into a way. Nobody does fucking anything you tell them to do. But they do things that you model for them. So get modeling. I'm glad the whole motorcycle thing got you on the precious life movement there, Spaceman. Only I did that. Be patient. What? Can't connect to anyone these days. Oh. Connect with me? Come on. I love you. Where you at? Where's that comment? Shit. Oh, we're already friends. See? Cozy Tess? We're friends. We're connected. Why wouldn't you want to be connected with people? Anytime you feel like you can't be connected, just know that there's something within you blocking yourself from being connected. It's a feeling that you're creating within your body. So, ask yourself, why would I feel this way about myself? If you want to change, just stay in your misery. Either way, I love you. Okay. Love is like a mathematical formula that allows information to be closer to each other. Yeah, I like that. What's the best way to help someone? Okay, yeah. Okay. We'll see you when you have 8 billion people influencing you. I'll take it. I will still be love. You can kill me, motherfuckers, and I will be love. How do I deal with people talking behind my back? Well, turn around. Sorry. Be like this. What you just got to turn right around real fast. Get them, you know? Did that help? Maybe it's time to find some new people. People talking behind my back all the time. I got people in the community that just cannot deal with me because they really want to be in the space of love, and they pretend and they shove the crystals in their asses and wear the white robes and things like that, and I just make fun of them. And there's a whole mean girl group that just for no reason is like turned their back on me and things like that, and I just love them anyway. They'll always talk. Just be love. Breaks all that. I worry the more I grow older, the harder I get. That my softness is calcifying, but I'm stronger now. All right, well, stop getting all hard. Ask yourself, what's a state you like to be in? You know, relaxed, love. Move towards that. Don't worry about it. Just be it. Change the way you feel. Change the way you think. Do something different. Yeah. He's aching to who he chooses to. What happens when he can't shoot or who talks to him? What the fuck are you talking about, logical means? Let it go, brother. I love you. Thank you for the knowledge. I gotta get to sleep. Good night. Have a good sleep. Rest well, my friend. Rest well. Don't connect to anyone. Give it time if it's hard. Find social attributes to wait on time. What can we do to stop judging less? This is something I've really been struggling with. Well, I mean, when you're judging somebody else, it's because you have a space within you that's being triggered. You're saying, oh, you're not okay. You have to be something different for me to be okay. So really, it's just you holding on to it. So you gotta have a little talk with yourself. Be like, why can't I love myself? Why do I need people to be different? Because judgment is the opposite of love. Saying you have to be something different. It's probably just some programming. gotta start practicing. Anything you want to change, you gotta consciously start practicing, you know? How do I undo the energetic blocks within myself? If you guys need some help working through your shit, like that's what I do for work, hit up that website forum. We'll do an emotional alchemy session. We'll bust some stuff open, teach you how to do it within yourself. Do a few sessions, you're out, you're done, you know? Myself or the lovely Sarah will do it with you. Or if any of you guys just need to talk and you need to kind of work out some concepts and stuff, we also do just coaching calls, just kind of talk you through it instead of the big sit-down sesh. AI is using information to create shows like this. Just don't give a fuck about all the AI. You wanna fight the man? You wanna fight the machine? Stop giving a fuck about it, and it loses its power. Because ultimately it's trying to keep you oppressed by keeping you not happy. So just be happy in the face of it. Because you know what? All the bullshit's always there all the time. It's been there ever since the big dawn of man, whenever the fuck that was. It's always there. And it's just your perspective that makes it good shit or it makes it bullshit. So if you want to stop living in the shit, stop giving a fuck about it. All right? Jeez, guys. I love your outfit. That was awesome. Love your outfits. Damn, I'm feeling fancy tonight. Yep, you gotta drop. I mean, you don't have to hang out with people that suck, you know? It's totally, like, when you change your energy into a better person, like, you'll find other people that are in the same energy, and all the people you were hanging out with before, it's like, these guys suck. Like, don't get stuck up on all of them. I love you too, spaceman. You slipped today and chose the control feeler axis instead of love and acceptance. All right, what'd you learn? Now you're in this moment. It's still today, but here you are in this moment. Are you going to live in that? Or are you going to be a new person right now? Choose it. Witchcraft, be a new person, motherfucker. Pew, 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 pew. Nipple guns. We did that one night. Anybody here for the nipple guns? The nipple guns was probably the best live we've ever done. It's called Grooming. Hey, buddy, how are you? I'm doing really good. How do you deal with negative emotions when they come up? An emotion is nothing more than an electrochemical sensation within your body, and it only takes about 90 seconds for it to pass through. So when it comes up, and you are of feminine form, I'm going to friend you because here we are. It's very often the feminine bodied, feminine emotion individuals, and not to say like, I hate talking about like, oh, here's man, here's woman, like penis, vagina vibes. Like, we're just talking about an energy of it. A defining factor. Like, I have plenty of feminine energy in me. I have plenty of masculine energy in me. Very often, the feminine form it's very good to do some movement. Dance it out. Go shake it out. Go do some yoga, things like that. But emotions will only last about 90 seconds if you can break the thought process. So if you can just stop and say, nope, I'm going to drop this bullshit and take some big deep breaths. 90 seconds. And all of those hormones that triggered from some thought process or some feeling process will pass through your system and you'll feel a little bit more balanced. So when they come up, breathe them through. Move them out. Like, move your body. Also, if you find them chronically coming up based on a situation, ask yourself, why would you make yourself feel that way? That's when you want to go do your work. That's when you want to go sit in the negative emotion. And when you don't pass it through and you just sit in it and you allow it, the stories behind it can come out. You got to get real quiet of mind, though, to do that. Can you hit the bowl thing? That makes a nice noise for us. Didn't like the guitar? Jeez. That is a nice noise. You're right. Raise light, hit him up on the line, man, with a drive. Yeah. Who's not human anymore? Dang it. I can't shut you off. I love you too, logical means. Go to bed. Sleep well. Stop caring about all that shit. You'll be free. You explained so much. Sorry I was in a cult, so you can. I was in a cult, so you can. What? Oh, so you understand. Or they all get wiped. What's getting wiped? Pauly Shore, yeah. Woke Pauly Shore. That's what they say. At least some people have said. I thought it was pretty funny. I don't actually identify as woke. It just seems like real bro-y. Fuck off. You guys want me to sing you a song? I might remember the words. It's one I wrote. If I just not think about it, then maybe I'll remember. Everybody drink some water. Let's do a little self-care first. You guys got your water? Check in. Did you drink your water? Ricky, I know you're here. You got your water? Drink your water. Chapstick. It's good to take care of yourself. I might forget some words. It's okay. You know what? I'm going to go grab the iPad real quick because then I can put the words on it. And then... Can you guys talk amongst yourselves for a moment? Drink your water. Everybody, get some fucking water, okay? It's good for your little cells and stuff. It's part of the human experience, you know? And you're all dehydrated. I can smell it. Ow, my legs. Be good to each other while I'm gone for 20 seconds. Okay, were you all good to each other? Sorry, I didn't mean to stop the ringing. I'm gonna pick this up very carefully. Oh, we got this. I'm back. Did you guys freak out? I hope you didn't freak out too much. Okay. Okay, if you're broke right now but you need some help, hit up the website form. We are doing group calls. Actually, tomorrow. I won't be able to get in by tomorrow. On Tuesdays, Sarah and I host a men's group call and a women's group call. And it's $50 to get in. If you're really fucking broke and you can't even afford $50 and you're like, I got some traumas that I want to unpack, just say, hey, I'm really stuck and I'd really like to be in here, and pay anything you can. If it's $20, do that. You know what I mean? Just as long as there's an energy exchange, so it's something meaningful to you. But that's our time when for people that can't afford like a full session, we teach the emotional alchemy method. It's not a one-on-one, it's like a group call. And you're able to learn the methods to help clear your shit. Because it takes a lot of energy for us to do the work, to sit with people in their emotions and their pain. What's this? Let me just find this. Here we are riding the wind. Oh yeah, I got words. That's good. But yeah, if you need some help, we'd love to have you in the call. We're here to help. It's like a do-it-yourself version instead of us tapping in with you. But it's still pretty good. You get to learn the methods. Here we are, riding the wave, experiencing pleasure and feeling the pain, living the moments of God's holy kiss, choosing to live in hell or in bliss, and we are free to feel and to be seen in this moment of perfection. We are free, and you are free to see you in me in this moment of perfection. You are free. And here we are with a life gone past, and holding to moments that simply don't last, grasping emotion and holding the wind, feeling the weight of original sin. And here we are on the terrace of our mind, looking to future for things we can't find, searching for what is complete in our hearts, hoping that someday we'll bring a fresh start. And we are free to feel and to be seen in this moment of perfection. We are free, and you are free to see you in me in this moment of perfection. You are free, and dry your tears, accept all your fears, for we live in a moment of flow. The pain and the pleasure, the beauty and shame throughout the undertow. Let the pain fall like rain, washing my ego away as I sit in the bliss of this moment. And here we are in a moment of flow, and feeling the things that cannot be known, living in beauty, accepting the sin, observing it all from a still place within. And we are free to feel and to be seen in this moment of perfection. You are free, and you are free to see you in me in this moment of perfection. You are free. There you go, kids. Got yourself a song. Oh, man. Has anyone healed their shit yet? I mean, we're supposed to be healing our shit today, right? In my head, that song has this really big emo section. I wrote that one. It's like this big guitars and drums. Your vibe. All right, what do you guys want to talk about? Oh man, it's already 9:40. 9:39 technically, but I just rounded it up. Should probably go to bed. Got some good work tomorrow. Let's do a little meditation. Let's do that. Find so much peace and joy just sitting with you here. That's why we're here. It feels great for me too. I love it. fun. It's like reciprocal energy, you know? Maybe we should do a love spell. We haven't done a love spell for a little while. You guys want to do a love spell? You'll feel so loved. You'll shit your pants. It's going to be that good, I promise. Wish I had hot tea. Okay. I need to prepare the witchcraft. Christians, look away. It's going to get witchy in here. It's going to get witchy up in this bitch. Now we're ready. I need your opinion. I only got 2 left. Do you want this one? Or this one? Which one? That one? All right. We'll do it. Don't get all pushy, though. Guys, don't argue. Jeez. Hope I don't burn my crotch severely. If I do, you know, I'll take it for the team. You gotta stick it. You gotta stick it just right. Otherwise it melts off to the side. Oh. My witchcraft isn't working very well tonight, guys. Okay, that's gonna work. Structural integrity is good. I'm liking that. That's good. We're gonna do some witchcraft. Obviously, calm down. Let's move that. Let's take this candle and put it right here for now. That's not a witchcraft candle. This is. We're gonna do a love spell. You guys ready? You ready to feel it? I thought these were unscented, but has a pleasant aroma. Ooh, kind of torch the side of that. It's okay, it's still gonna work. You torch this side so it's even. Can you feel it? I'm about to cast a spell. You are so very loved. Everything that you're doing is absolute perfection. You may not know it. It may feel shitty. But all of that shittiness is moving you towards the direction that you need to go. You've done everything right. You're not fucking anything up. And you are so very loved. Voila. Now while this candle burns, going to be sending all that out into the field. The whole thing with candles for witchcraft is when it burns, it creates a higher frequency and whatever. But you're going to feel it, motherfuckers. You're going to be like, oh, I do feel kind of loved right now. Even Logical Means here. He's kind of like, I've been trying to fight this guy all night, but he loves me and I don't know what to do with it. So maybe I'm going to act out a little bit more and say a bunch more shit, you know? He wants to. It's a typical response of humanity. That's okay. Because I got a love spell burning. And he can't fight that. And he can't fight this. Let's do a meditation. Everybody, breathe out. Wait, don't do it. Take a regular breath. Just get another drink of water. I'm worried about you guys. Take a little drink. Is everybody hydrating? Check in when you've taken a drink. I mean, preferably water, but if you got to drink something else, whatever. You can't do a proper meditation unless you're hydrated. Ricky? Yeah? Cheers? Okay, good. Good. Got 2 of you. Yes? If you need to get up right now and get yourself a fucking glass of water, go do that. I'm waiting. Drink, okay. Good. That's what I like to see. Good. Yep. You just drank a pint. Damn, girl. Don't get carried away now. But I appreciate you. Just pounding it. She's just out there just pounding them. Zach! We just did a love spell. Did you feel it? You must have felt it. That's why you're here. And guess what we're going to do right now, Zach? We're going to ding the ringer. You didn't say what it was. It's okay. That other stuff has water in it, too. Got it? You guys got your water up in this bitch? Thank you. Now we're going to feel an amazing vibe. I just dinged the ringer. Everybody hydrated? Okay, it's good. Okay, cool. Now, get yourself comfortable. You can be laying down, you know, but stretch your back a little bit. Like, all of that is your body and your nervous system and all the feelings and things. So when you sit real stagnant, everything gets kind of like clogged up. So if you want to like move around a little bit, move your shoulders, even your jaw, right? Do this. I know it seems weird, but it's also the root chakra and the energy thing. Give your butt a little clench. Clench your ass. Do a little kegel. And then release. I know, it seems weird. But it feels better now, doesn't it? Right? Not such a tight ass. Like, literally don't be a tight ass. Don't poop yourself. Don't go that relaxed. But just cool your shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody get comfy. Stretch your back out. We're about to get real lovey up in this bitch. Why? Because it feels good. Huh? You guys learned nothing yet? Breathe out fully. Bring your belly button into spine. Push your diaphragm up. Really get it all out. Now take a breath all the way down into the root. Let your belly expand. And all the way up into your neck, to the top of your head. Like, imagine that breath going through your whole body. We're going to get rid of some of those hormones and things running around. We're just going to flush it all out. Now breathe in again, big full. Make it the longest breath you can take. One more time as you get comfy. Nice long breath. I'm not going to do anything cool right now, so just close your eyes. Breathe those breaths. And as you breathe out, I want you to release any feelings you have in your body. Just let them go. Any tensions. And as you breathe out, I want you to release any thoughts that you may be thinking about. What is this? Anxieties, all the things. Just be here in this moment. That's all you have. The future doesn't even exist. You're creating it as you go. Breathe a nice deep breath all the way through your whole system. Breathing out. Releasing any sensations in your body, any tensions. If you find some space that is particularly uncomfortable, focus your energy into that space, and on the out breath, envision it relaxing. Envision all that tension leaving your body, just draining out. Send it into the earth. Breathe in, nice long breath. Fully exhaling, bringing your belly button to spine. Not flexing your abs, but actually pulling that in. So it kind of pushes that diaphragm up. Full exhale. Breathing in. And as you breathe, I want you to relax your butt and relax your jaw. Release any tension in your jaw. Just breathe. Fully relaxed here in this moment. I want you to relax your brow and the sides of your head. Just release that tension you're holding. Send it into the earth on the out breath. Breathing in. Releasing it on the out breath. Just presence in your moment. Continuing to release any of those bodily tensions, any pain, any discomfort, and any of them that are connected to thoughts. Release the thought as well. Breathing in fully, long, deep breaths. Slow them down. And place the tip of your tongue at the roof of your mouth. That will help still your thoughts. It's connected to thoughts, all little micro movements. And with your eyes closed, roll your eyes back to the blank space behind them. Just kind of rolling back a little bit. It'll help still your eyes. The micro movements of your eyes are also connected to thoughts. Continuing to release the discomforts and sensations of your body as you breathe. Continuing to release the thoughts on the out-breath. Feeling the presence of this moment. And right in the middle of your chest, I want you to place a small smile, the feeling of a smile. Maybe the feeling of a beloved grandmother, a friend, a loved one, a pet that you love dearly. The feeling that they give you, put it right there. And on each breath, I want you to place your focus and your awareness on that and let it grow a little bit. Continuing to release any thoughts on the out-breath. Just focus on that smile. You can put a little smile on your face as well. That actually triggers little happy hormones in your body. Breathing out any negative sensations, any worries, any tension. Letting that smile grow. I want you to create a warm green glow with that smile, right in the middle of your chest, maybe a ball of light. Envision that. I want want you to let that ball of light grow a little outside of your chest, in the front, in the back, be all the way to the sides of your body, growing that ball as you breathe. The feeling of a smile. Continuing long, deep breaths, releasing any tension as you smile in your heart. On the next breath, I want you to grow that glow all the way around your body, spreading out. The feeling of a smile spreading out around you, spreading into the room around you, the car, the office, wherever you are. On the next breath, I want you to make it even brighter and stronger, all in your space around you. The feeling of a smile. Let it wash through your whole body, warming you. And on your next breath, I want you to grow that glow all the way around the building that you're in, spreading it out. Releasing any negative sensations, releasing any fear, releasing any anxiety, letting that glow warm your depression, letting yourself feel okay at this moment, to allow for a little goodness. And with zero fear, push that out to the world around you, to the neighborhood around you. Let that glow grow deep down into the earth, high above you, your neighborhood. And on the next breath, let it build in intensity, sending that smile out all around you. On the next breath, I want you to push it all the way out into your neighborhood, to the city around you, deep down into the earth, high up into the sky. The feeling of a smile, accepting what is, creating love within yourself. On the next breath, I want you to send it even farther out to the state or region where you live, letting it grow high into the sky, all the way down into the earth. That feeling of a smile emanating out. Now you might be starting to feel each other out there. Let it grow even bigger with zero fear. Just acceptance. Here in this moment. Creating your own reality. I want you to send it out to your country around you, wherever you are. Deep down into the earth, high up into the sky. Building it in intensity, allowing that smile to grow from within you, spreading out. want you to spread it out even farther to the surrounding areas, maybe all around the whole world. Reach out to each other. Feel each other there as you breathe. Send that hug of your heart space and that smile to each other. And feel all of you sitting there in it, in a state of joy, in a state of good, a state of feeling okay. You're totally safe. Spread it out. Let that intensity grow from within you, moving out to everywhere around, high into the sky, surrounding the earth. Overwhelming all the bullshit. Spreading all the good shit. Spreading that smile out and just surrounding the whole earth with that beautiful green glow. Breathing deeply, feeling that within. Feeling it without. Allowing yourself to experience joy. And I want you to take this sensation that you've created within yourself, in your own nervous system, and I want you to remember what it feels like. And I want you to practice this at every moment that you are conscious of it. Every moment that it feels like shit, to say, I know what goodness feels like. I'm going to create this within myself. And to slow your moment, to breathe, to place a smile in your heart, and to spread it out to everyone you come into contact with. How are you all feeling? After you've practiced unprotected heart space loving? Probably pretty good. You're gonna remember that feeling? Zach's feeling happy, that's good. Easily over 9,000. Connected. Happy and calm. Look at that. You guys created that all within yourself. Overflowing with love. Like you did that. You changed your reality through your nervous system, in the way that you feel, through a little bit of mindset. Cheeks hurt from smiling. I have that sometimes. I'm like, on a cold day when I'm out riding my bike or the skateboard, I'm like just smiling and it's like my teeth hurt and my face hurts. Yeah. those feelings in our body, those pains, those aches can also oftentimes just be from a mindset, something we're holding. Oh, you felt the smiles. It's okay if you couldn't fully do it. It's a practice. And now you know a little bit of the feeling, so just keep practicing that, you know? Yeah, I love it when you smile so much your cheeks hurt. Yeah, we hold all kinds of tensions in our body from our mindset. That's those negative self-belief systems. Those are those stories. Those are those traumas, that bullshit, you know? I'm glad you're here. Life Surfer 9. How do you go pro at skateboarding? You gotta practice, and you gotta send that motherfucker, and you gotta know how to fall. You gotta really want it. Practice falling. If you can't fall, you can't skate. Just practice, yeah? I was ringing my dinger when you were ringing your dinger. Good. You gotta ring the dinger, or ding the ringer. Whichever way, it doesn't really matter. As long as you're dinging the ringer. Everybody feeling good? You guys ready for some sleep? The Perp V wants to know how to be a pro skateboarder. Being a pro skateboarder is just like life. It's not like, the falling's just a part of it. Thank you for those little heart things. Like, you have to know how to eat shit gracefully. If you tense up, you're gonna break something. You gotta just ragdoll it. Just hit the ground and flop around. It's the same with life when the bullshit comes. Just be like, oh, here I am in the bullshit. Flop around. Yeah, it hurts. But if you tense up, you're fucked. You just gotta keep practicing. Because if you don't practice, you don't try for the trick, you're never gonna learn it. If you don't send it a little bit without fear, in complete relaxed, trusting the process, you're never going to be able to land it. You'll never be able to do anything cool in life unless you go for it. So just relax in the process. Eating shit's part of it. Just relax. You're going to be okay. And when you fuck yourself up from sending a little too hard, or something gets you, that's your learning experience. Pain is a teacher. It's always going to be there. Don't freak out. Just flop around a bit. You'll be better for it. Yeah? You guys tracking? 1 a.m., Matt. You need to go to bed. I haven't felt this chill in a while. Yeah. Do some stretching. If you had any feelings coming up, feel free to sit a little bit in it. Let them pass through. Totally safe to feel your feelings. Can't heal anything unless you can feel it. Go ollie 10 flights of stairs. Not flights, just try to do a 10 stair. I cannot kickflip. I never learned when I was younger skating, and then when I went back to it, I tend to just go fast and cruise more than I'm doing a lot of tricks and things like that, but I'm going to learn how to kickflip. I think that'd be rad. You guys ready for bed? Don't forget to take care of yourself. Drink some water. Yep, you gotta feel it to heal it. Because if you're not feeling it, you're just pushing it away. And if you're not pushing it away, or if you're pushing it away, your awareness is not there. Oh yeah, release that day. Release that day. Oh yeah. You can definitely feel the dinger on the old chakra centers. All right, everyone. It's been fun. It's been real. It's real fun. Everybody, sleep well. Take care of yourself tomorrow. And remember the feeling that you created within yourself of love, of joy, of acceptance, of fearlessly spreading that out. And then practice that tomorrow when you're engaging with people, and people's energy will try to throw you off because it's going to feel different than what you're putting out there. But just do it for yourself, and that spreads out to everybody else. Yeah? And remember, we got the love spell burning up here. It's going to be burning for a little while, and all of that is going to get you. Yeah, you just got to ragdoll it, Brenda. Just flop about. Literally, in skating, it's literally called ragdolling. Like, if you jump off something big, you have to be in a very relaxed mindset of like, oh, I'm going to just land on my board, or I'm going to hit the ground. Because if you tense up, you break stuff. It's also good to push out of the crash with your hands so you don't just, Gary, now I know I was wrong. I messed up, and now you're gone. Pain is a teacher. All right, everybody. It's been fun. Wait, how do I get out of here? I just messaged you in regards to emotional. Oh, somebody asked what an emotional alchemy session looks like. A little bit of a meditation. We talk about the process of feeling emotions. We talk about the energies of it, how it works. We talk about moving past the cover stories and getting into the sensations and to feel safe in that. And then we go deeply into feeling any negative sensations that are coming up from things in life, any painful moments. And then we go into a little bit of a meditation to work down into the pain. I have a set of questions I usually ask to keep you held there. And I feel it in you, and I keep you out of your head and in it. And then as the questions are asked, generally the original stories come up, and then we'll trace it back to like an original story to find out when you first set that energetic habit, that habit of feeling a certain way within you. And then because there's a little bit of cortisol going on and there's some neuroplasticity open from feeling that pain, then you're able to reprogram, and I'll take you through whatever it is, inner child healing, to integrate that old memory into your current moment, get you grounded back in the moment, send you out on your way. A lot of times people are like, I feel so much lighter. I feel like I'm lifting out of my skin. It's like, yeah, that's because you just let some shit go, And then when people are healed, and sometimes one session, they'll have this massive discovery, and they're just like, wow. They see the patterns throughout their life, why they've been that way. It brings a lot of clarity, How do I deal with bitterness and resentment? I let it go. I practice. Because you're the one that's bitter, and you're the one that's resenting. And you're the only one there creating your feelings. So, let that shit go. All right, everyone. Sleep well. Oh, man, I need messages. Have a wonderful night. What do we got? I'll see you soon.